So I had to hide behind this hay bale because the wind is so bad right now. Y'all wouldn't be able to hear me if I moved out from behind it. So that's why we kind of got the funny angle, and I just didn't feel like doing a video in front of the green screen, but should have, because this atrocious sun is just like blasting me in the face. But I thought y'all might want to see some of the work we've gotten done. We are getting lots of firewood cut for next year, and some sawmill timbers laid out. You can see the chickens out there pecking around. What I want to talk about was the issue that apparently Walmart now is hiding meat behind their counters, and just ridiculous, y'all. So apparently they're having enough theft that they're having to put some procedures in place to protect those $26 T-bone steaks. And why people are paying $26 for a T-bone from Walmart is beyond me. But well, apparently not. I guess they're stealing it. But anyway, so that's where we're at now. That's where this craziness and this food shortage is gone. But what I find mind-boggling is there are so many people that are sticking their head in the sand about this. So Amanda Lynn was at Costco the other day, and they had this entire they had those big freezer sections in the middle of Costco. They had the entire thing shut down, completely empty, and they said that it was down for maintenance. Please don't open the door. And but it was still cooling, so it wasn't that bad of maintenance. But somebody asked Amanda Lynn, some lady was like, I just don't understand why the whole thing is shut down for maintenance. It doesn't make any sense to me. And Amanda Lynn's like, it's not maintenance, it's the food shortage. And this lady looked at Amanda Lynn like she was crazy, and like avoided her the rest of the time they were at Costco, like when they would run into each other in the aisles. It's just really bizarre. And we got to talking, and we just realized that these people are just so ingrained in, like, the government's going to protect me, that the systems are all there, right? The systems are designed to protect me, and it's all going to be okay. And it's just not. You have to take some responsibility for yourself. And I don't know. I just find it mind-boggling that they're that much of a sheeple that they won't put any forethought into this, or foresight into this, and look past the next week's paycheck about what's going to happen. So this is just another indicator in the long line of food shortages and meat shortages. And again, there's a very simple answer: getting with your local producers and your local farmers. We can all do that. Our beef is still selling for right now, after processing fees, about $7.50 a pound or so. And that's what you end up. That's what we try to keep it at. What you walk away from, which is high for ground beef, not for grass-fed ground beef, but it's high for ground beef. But it's not high for a T-bone steak. Now, again, grass-fed is a whole different animal. It's not going to rate as prime choice on the grading scale, because there's so little fat in it that you're not going to get those high-end ratings on there. We had a butcher shop out of Tuscaloosa call us the other day. They want to sell high-end meat products, and they apparently are going to stock some of our pork, which would be really cool. But they wouldn't stock our beef because grass-fed is considered a lower quality meat. So, anyways, it's just kind of funny how that all works out. But getting with your local farmer, you can find local producers they'll raise it however you want. They'll put grain in it, they'll put corn in it, whatever you want to do to fatten it up. And if you're on small acreage, you may not have a lot of options, but you may not be able to do grass-fed because you can't grass feed 20 cows or even 2 cows on 1 acre, but you can grain feed them, and you can do you can raise your own steers as long as you don't have an HOA or a covenant getting in the way. You can do that, and it's very easy to do. You got to buy lots of hay because you need biomass going into the soil so you can build a deep bedding. We talked about this the other day with On-Site Trav in our little talk, but I guess we'll go ahead and do it now. If you want to do that and you want to raise some animals on small plots of land, you got to do it ethically, and you got to do it in a way that's clean for the animals. And the only way that I know of that's clean for the animals, that still allows them to kind of be those animals, is by putting them on small plots of land and using deep bedding. So every time, when the manure starts to smell and you get any whiff of that manure, you should be throwing a ton of carbon on that soil. And so the easiest way to get carbon is if you're in a place that the arborists around will mulch wood chips, and you can get it from them. If you can't get it from them, you can do it with hay. and hay works okay, but it's not quite as dense as wood chips, and so the wood chips work a little bit better. But excuse me, as they manure, you keep building up that bedding, and you do that all the way up until the time to butcher them, and then you can clean that out, and you've got a great topsoil / compost to go on your garden, and you can do that every year. And the animals are raised ethically. They're not living in their own manure. They're yes, a small lot of land, but they're certainly got more land to roam than they would in a feed house or a traditional commercial pig CAFO, and you can still you can give them some semblance of a good life and treat them respectfully and raise them on some good food and give yourself a superior product. And I don't want to talk myself out of customers, but if you want to do it yourself, that's how you do it. It's a lot of fun, and I'd highly encourage anybody to do it. Pigs are easy. I like pigs. And even steers, raising a few steers is not bad. You can do the same thing there with steers. You'll have to feed them some hay. You'll have to give them some grains and stuff. And so you'll have to source grains like how we do, where ours are not actually a real grain. It's sunflower seeds. That's how we give ours some additional protein when we need to. And you have those options to you. So don't get caught up on, it has to be grass-fed, because grass-fed is just not always an option for everybody. And to me, it's more important to be raising my own food than to do it in a way that is 100% the way that I want to do it. The way that cows should be raised is absolutely grass-fed, on pasture, rotationally grazing, high density. So it's mob stocking, herbivorous, solar conversion, lignified carbon sequestration, fertilization, right? That big mouthful of how to actually do it. But that's not necessarily in the realm of what everybody can do, and so sometimes you just got to deal with what you got. So guys, I mean, the bottom line is that we've just got to get out there, and if you're not buying from a local processor, start looking at and start researching one. If you want to raise your own food, do that too. You can do both. We raise 100% of our own meat here, but you know what? I don't raise shrimp. So if I want to go buy some seafood, I do have to occasionally break that rule and go out and get 99% of my food here, where that 1% comes from off-site. So maybe we don't raise shrimp yet. Maybe hydroponics will change that. So anyways, get out there and start raising some food. You guys, we've got lots of videos showing you how to, but the first step is to just get started. And most people, if you've got an acre, you can start your food forest. You can start growing some small, some smaller animals and get them going on some deep bedding. Speaking of food forest, by the way, I do want to thank some subscribers, as well as they're actually customers of mine from my other business, and they just were very thankful, and they brought me a lime tree, a Persian lime tree today, just like out of nowhere. It's so cool. So I just wanted to say thank you to them. That was just a real blessing and very thoughtful gift, and just out of nowhere for no reason. I mean, they paid us for the work that we did for them. They certainly didn't owe us anything. So it was just very thoughtful of them to bring us that. So that looks like that'll be going in our high tunnel. One of the other plants going in our high tunnel as we get that up this summer. Stay with us, guys. We had some requests for some well house videos on how we're setting up our well. That's going to be several videos showing that. That's going up here over the next probably 4 to 6 weeks. We'll have that well being put in. So we're cutting some timbers for it here this weekend, and Mandolin and I were working on getting the post set today for it. So that'll be on the horizon. We got some chickens approaching now, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna enjoy my evening and spend some time with the wife and the kids. So thanks again for watching, y'all. Really appreciate it.